Aloha and welcome back to Live at the Legislature. I'm the Senate's Director of Communications, Jesse Broder Van Dyke. My guest this week is Senator Gil Riviere, who represents the North Shore of Oahu from Mokulē to Kaneohe. Thank you, Senator, for joining us live from your home in Waialua as we continue working remotely to slow the spread of COVID-19. Senator Riviere, how is the North Shore community dealing with the pandemic response and the shutdown of tourism and so many businesses?
You know, it's been an amazing change, and it happened so very quickly. We went from just maximum tourism where people are complaining about the tourists to now there's none, and the traffic is wide open, and the stores are empty, and people are wearing masks. So it's quite a profound change, and I think it's a really great opportunity here to look at how we go forward with tourism. We all recognize the importance of tourism and the economy, and I would point out, like they did in Hale after the tragedy of the landslides in Kauai. They took that and found a way to reset how tourists interact with the people on the north end of Kauai. And I would hope that we've got some lessons that we can learn from that as we go back into turning on the economy. At some point, we want to get back there. And I'm not taking away anything from the concerns now, the health concerns, the social distancing, all of that needs to continue. But I don't think it's too early to start thinking about how we want to re-energize the economy going forward. So it's good. It's calm. There's some people with concern, and if I could just prattle on a little bit longer, there was a lot of people coming out to the beaches. We've got a lot of great beaches in this district, and a lot of people are trying to get away, thinking that they're probably safe and calm and going to the beaches. We were getting a lot of pushback every day. I was getting many calls saying, hey, how come I'm self-quarantining and all these other people are sitting on the beach? So recently the police came out and have exerted, shall we say, law and order. They've been going after the people hanging out on the beach. So everybody's doing their part. I think people are coming around, and I think that is a remarkable testament to our community, that people are cooperating. And for the most part, I think the social distancing thing is working out really well for the health concerns.
That's great. And you've been speaking out for a number of years about the impact of over-tourism on the North Shore and Windward Coast, especially since there's just one lane of traffic in each direction. So what is it like up there right now with no tourists?
Well, the roads are clear for people are enjoying the ability to move around as we did just a few years ago before the roads got all clogged up. We've got so many unique concerns in our district, from the roads falling into the sea on the windward side, to the traffic at Laniakea, to the windmill concerns, the towering over the folks at Kahuku, and the airfield out at Dillingham. So we never have a dull day out here on projects that we're working on.
And how do you think in general, how do you think the state has been handling the pandemic response, and what could they be doing better right now?
You know, it's easy to criticize what other people are doing. I think if you've ever had an opportunity to go on vacation and somebody looks after your work, you come home and you find out all the mistakes that you made. You say, wow, I didn't make, how? But it's very easy to be critical of other people's decision making. And there's a lot of mistakes that have been made, but there's been a lot of good action too. I think the stay-at-home issue has worked for now. And I think that we are, again, without getting ahead of ourselves, the numbers of confirmed cases has appeared to be dropping lately. So I'm really optimistic. I'm ever the optimist. I think we can start to move forward. Some of the problems that we've had, the greatest problem is the unemployment issue. And this is really sad. And I think this points, unfortunately, to the bureaucracy of the state of Hawaii. I mean, it was obvious that we're going to have lots of unemployment people, and a lot of people stepped up to volunteer, but they haven't yet been programmed in to support the unemployment checks. We've got to get those checks going. There's really no excuse for that. The testing is lagged, but we're doing well. I think we're doing much better with the testing, and I'm very hopeful that the serological testing will come along, where we can test people's antibodies and find out if they've been exposed and are generally healthy, one would hope. So those are going to be critical as we go forward, as we start easing the restrictions. We need the rapid testing, the serological testing, and the unemployment. Boy, people are standing up. We got to get those checks out. There's no more excuses for that.
Yeah, I know you and all the other senators have been hearing from a lot of constituents have been having trouble getting through to that unemployment system. Once we do have those antibody tests, we're going to need to start rebuilding our economy, and that might be an equally difficult challenge. What do you think we're going to need to do once we start turning the economy back on?
Well, I think the obvious step is that we open up our local economy as soon as it's practical and proper to do. But we've got to start easing the restrictions to allow local economy, and I hope that gives us a pause to better control how visitors move around. You know, Disneyland's a great example because they process whatever it is, 15 or 20 million tourists a year. We get 10 million and we're overloaded. And it's part of it is systemic. We're not managing them. We're not providing the resources. We don't have the facilities. So it's kind of willy-nilly. And that is coming back to hurt us. It's just putting stress on our community. So now's the time. Now's the time we've got to start figuring out what will our future look like. And again, I cite the North Kauai example where they took that tragedy of the roads and turned it into a really good outcome for the people of Haena.
Changing subjects a little bit, you've been fighting to keep the state from closing Dillingham airfield. What's the latest on that?
Thank you. We were all caught stunned a couple months ago when the department decided to shut the airfield with no recourse. Just they were going to shut it down June 30th. Everybody's going to be out of business. All the people, their careers, their livelihoods are going to be just decimated. And I think that's a fair way to state it. There's some issues at the airfield, which I believe can be resolved. We have been working closely, me and the other area legislators have been working closely with the stakeholders and approaching the Department of Transportation. And I'm happy to say that in this tragic time of COVID and such, that the department has taken the right step and is allowing a 1-year pause on the closure of the field. So that 1 year is critical because it's going to allow us to work with the stakeholders, the Department of Transportation, and hopefully we're going to find an airport operator that can come in and manage the airfield and do it better. The place has been neglected for decades. It needs better improvement, and it can be there. I'm really looking forward to the future of Dillingham now that we got this chance to save it and make it better.
Thank you. We're almost out of time. What have you and your family been doing to stay safe and healthy while we've been sheltering in place?
Thank you. I saw you on a trail the other day. We were out taking advantage of a trail. I went out with my son who's back from college. My wife is exercising. My daughter's out hiking on a trail right now. I go surfing every day. So we're staying healthy. We're spending a lot of good family time together. I think that has been one of the blessings of this. If you love your family, this is a great opportunity to be with them. And to everybody that's out there, you know, stay safe, love your families, love the ones you got. And if you live alone, then hey, enjoy that solitude and connect with your friends through Zoom and everything else. So God bless everybody. We'll get through this, and I think the world will be a better place once we resolve these problems.
Yes, thank you, Senator. Yeah, it was great running into you and your son at the top of the Kealia Trail. The Waiahole trails are still open, surfing still allowed, so there's still some ways to stay safe and healthy. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back on Live at the Legislature next week. Thank you very much. Aloha.
And my pleasure. Aloha.